Hello everyone, my name is Santosh. I am from CSC third year. Today I would like to explain about that Todo application using JavaScript closure. Before that, I would like to explain about that what is a function scope, what is closure, what is callback function, what is promises, and what is async and await. Let's see first what is function scope. As we all have an idea about that function is nothing but a block of reusable code. We can reuse it by calling that function. Let's see this example to understand about the function scope. I am writing a function with the name of create. Inside this function, I am declaring a variable which is nothing but greet word. For this, I am assigning a string hello. I'm using that greet word variable print. I'm calling this function at the outside of the function. If I run this, I'll simply get a output as a string hello. This is the output. But if I try to use this greet word variable at the outside of the function, let's see what happened. If I again run this, here I'm getting an error. Greet word is not defined because this greet word is not defined at the outside of the function, because this greet word is which is defined inside the function. So we can't able to use that variable outside the function. So this is the function, because this greet word variable has a scope inside of the function only, so that we are not allowed to use that greet word variable outside of the function. This is the function scope. What is a closure? A closure is nothing but it is one of the core concepts in JavaScript. A closure is when a function keeps access to the variable of its outer scope even after the outer function has finished its execution. Let's see a simple code example to get a better understanding of this closure concept. This is a simple code. Let's understand step by step. First, outer function. The greet function is outer function. Inside it, there is a variable called greet word with the value hello. This is a local variable, meaning it belongs to the greet function only. Inner function. The inner function accesses the greet word variable from the outer function scope. Even greet word is not defined inside inner, it can still access it because of the closure, returning inner. The outer function then returns the inner function but does not execute it immediately. When greet is called, it does not executes the inner function, it just executes that outer function only. To execute this inner function, we need to create another variable, and after that, by using that variable, we can call that inner function to execute it. Let's see the output of this closure. Let's simply run this closure. Here we are getting the output of the outer function as well as inner function. Here we can see that hello. This is nothing but a variable which is declared at the outside of the inner function. Here we can observe that inner function is accessing the variable from the greet function even after executing of that greet function. This is the closure concept. Now let's see about what is a callback function. A callback function is a function that is passed as an argument to another function that to be executed later. It's like giving some instructions. Let's see a simple code example to get a better understanding of that callback function concept. In this function, there is a fetch data function that takes one argument, which is nothing but callback, which is expected to be a function. Inside that, there is a set timeout that waits around 1 second before printing that data fetched string. Callback execution. After printing the data fetched string, it calls the callback function. In this case, the callback function is provided as an arrow function. First, data fetched is printed, then after that 1 second, the callback executed string will be printed, because the callback function runs immediately after the data is fetched. Now let's see what is promise. A promise in JavaScript is like a guarantee for the future. It promises to do something, an asynchronous task, and eventually provides a result. Resolved, reject. In resolve, if the task is exceeded, then it calls the dot then function. Rejects, if the task is failed, then it calls the dot catch function. Let's see a simple code to get a better understanding of that promise concept. In this code, there is a fetch data function. It returns a promise that stimulates an asynchronous task using set timeout. Inside the promise, after waiting 1 second, if success, it's true, then resolve function calls with a data fetched. If success is in false, then it rejects the function is called as a error fetching data. Calling fetching data. Dot then function runs if the promise is resolved and it successfully prints the message data fetched. And dot catch runs if the promise is rejects and then it prints the error fetching data message. Now let's see what is async and await. Async await is a cleaner way to work with promises. Instead of chaining dot then and dot catch, instead of that promises, dot then and dot catch functions, we can write code that looks synchronous but it runs as asynchronously. Now let's see this code to get a good idea on that async and await concept. In this code, async function, it declares a fetch data as an asynchronous function. An async function always returns a promise. It's creating a promise. Inside fetching data, a promise is created that resolves after 1 second with the message of data fetched. Await keyword pauses the execution of the function until the promise is resolved. The resolved value data is fetched. It is assigned to result. Then after that, printing the result. After waiting the result, then it is printed data fetch string. Calling fetching data. Since it's an async function, it starts executing but runs the promises asynchronously. Now let's see the to-do list program explanation. This is the code for the to-do list program. Here the to-do list function creates a to-do list manager which contains many functionalities. In this to-do list function, there is one of the array which name consists all. This array which is used to store the tasks. The add function adds a new task in the array marked as complete. This function that which marks a task as a completed by setting its completed as true. Here these three functions are which is nothing but a date based filtering functions. It contains three functions. One is overdue, another one is a due today, another one is a due later. Due today, this which is nothing but this returns which due day is this which is returns the due day tasks before the today, and this due today, this which is returns the due day is equals to the today, and this due day later which returns the due date is after the today. Displayable list. This function that which formats a list of tasks to the display. It adds a checkbox with X mark or empty checkbox. It also returns a checkbox and task title and also display the date of the task. Now let's see how this code is working. Let's simply run this code. Here, this is the output of the above code. These are the date-based function outcomes, which returns the tasks as per their dates. Submit assignment. This date is overdue because the date of this is already completed due today. These two tasks are task dues are matches the today's date and due later. This due task dates are after the today's date. So it written here. These all checkboxes are indicates that which is completed and which is not completed. And this is the program for the to-do list.